On today's call, I want to go over the KISS method, KISS, okay? And this method is probably one of the only things that has single-handedly accelerated my weight loss and health results, helped me lose 70 pounds, and start a successful weight loss company. Like that's how powerful this is and how I'm going to explain this to you. And it's so powerful because in any weight loss or health journey, you go through a ton of different seasons, right? And if you're listening to this and you're a fit queen for quite a while now, you've been through many different seasons, right? But if you're new to Fit Queen, or if you haven't, or if you're listening to this and you're not in Fit Queen, a lot of women only kind of go in a weight loss stage in a certain season in their life. And that season is usually when it's convenient and when it's easy, right? But that's probably only life 20% of the time. Is life always easy and convenient? No. So you can't just always be losing weight during the easy and the convenient times. You have to figure out a way to stay healthy, to maintain a routine when it's easy, when it's convenient, but also when it's hard, when it's inconvenient, maybe even when it's boring, right? So we have all these different phases in our life, but we aren't prepared to do the work all the way through them. We just pause when it doesn't come convenient. So this KISS method is going to help us through those different seasons, so you can still lose weight, you can still be healthy, you can still be steadfast in your motivation and your results, even if everything on the outside world is pushing against you. Okay. And the KISS method, simply, it stands for keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. That's the KISS method. Pretty simple. Simple's in the title. But basically, I have a nice story to kind of demonstrate the power of this, okay? And the story is about Einstein. We all know the famous Albert Einstein, and this is actually really funny. So Albert Einstein, he was invited to go play golf. I think it was in Princeton. And then when he got there, he was on the golf course, and there was an instructor waiting for him. And this instructor was really excited. He was really excited to work with Einstein. He was like, he has this brilliant mind. He's going to pick up golf so fast. And so this instructor and Einstein, they meet. They get started. The instructor starts teaching him, chipping and putting and the basics of golf. But Einstein's having a little bit of trouble getting started. He kind of keeps missing the ball. He can't make contact with it. And then so the instructor's like, okay, let me get a little bit more detail to see if he can kind of pick it up then. So he's like, swing through with the hips, make sure you follow through with the arms, but it's not working. Einstein's still missing the ball. He's getting frustrated. The instructor's getting frustrated. And then all of a sudden, Einstein says, pass me some more golf balls. And the instructor stands there kind of looking confused because he's not hitting any of them, so why does he need more? But he's like, okay. So he gives Einstein 4 golf balls. And then all of a sudden, Einstein yells, catch! And he throws all 4 golf balls at the instructor. And then the instructor's waving his hands, trying to catch all of them, and he catches none of them. He catches none of them. And then Einstein says, young man, if I threw 1 golf ball, you can catch it. But if I throw 4, you'll catch nothing. And so when you teach, make sure you stick to 1 point at a time. And that's real life, which is really cool. That actually happened. And so the moral of the story is, we have knowledge, we want to learn knowledge, we want to kind of learn it all at once, but you just can't do that, because when you do that, nothing really sticks. We try to catch too many golf balls at once, and we end up catching none of them. We end up not even being able to catch 1. And this applies to every area in life. And when I heard this story, it made me think of Ryan and I's relationship when we were opening up the gym. So Ryan and I opened up this gym, and we didn't have any business background, so we didn't know what the hell we were doing. And when we opened up the gym, we had a ton of bills to pay, more expenses than we ever had before. We had to keep clients happy. We had to grow more clients. We had to make sure, we still had a relationship with our family, and we were still making time for one another. And that was really, really hard. And so every day kind of went by, and we had trouble balancing everything. Something always used to give. And most of the time, it was the time for Ryan and I. Whenever we would chat, it would just be like business partner Madison and Ryan. And it wouldn't be relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, Madison and Ryan. And so after about 6 months of this, of opening our gym, I was like, okay, You know, it's not like we were drifting apart, but our connection wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be, and I wanted us to grow together. So I was like, okay, if this continues, there's going to be some problems. So I was thinking, I was like, okay, what can I do? And at this point, this is what our days look like, and I'm not even exaggerating. We would wake up about 4:30, 5 a.m. On our way to work, on our way to the gym. We would stop at the McDonald's drive-thru. We'd grab hash brown and egg McMuffins. I'd go and I'd teach all of our morning classes. Then we would grab A&W for lunch. Then we would take a nap because we were exhausted. Then we would teach all of our nighttime classes with our personal training sessions. We would get Indian food on the way home, get home around like 9, 10, pass out, and go to bed. And then we would wake up and repeat. And that's literally what our days look like for almost a year, which is absolutely nuts, like literally. And so these were our days. And I was like, okay, so how can I make these days better? Like, what can I change in the days so we have a little bit more time to connect with each other? And so I was thinking, and I came up with all these great ideas. I was like, okay, so I'm going to wake up just a little bit early and I'm going to make breakfast for us, right? So we can save money. We can eat a little bit more healthy. I'm going to make breakfast for us, right? And then, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to motivate Ryan to work out with me during our lunch break instead of taking a nap. Let's bond together over workout. Cool. There's the second thing. And then, you know what? When we get home before bed, I'm going to give him a massage. I'm going to show him my care. I'll give him like a foot massage. And I was like, awesome. This is great. We're going to get right back on the right track. And I went to bed and I was excited to wake up, and guess what happened the very next day? We woke up, we went through the McDonald's drive-thru, and we repeated. And that's the exact same thing. I tried to catch too many golf balls at once. I had great intentions. They were coming from a place of love and of caring and of wanting to improve and connect with someone. But the saying is, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Right? And so it's so important that we realize, and not even just in our health journey, what are you doing in life where you're trying to catch too many golf balls? Because it's happening. It's happening. And if you take it back to that KISS method, keep it simple, stupid. How can you literally dumb it down? How can you dumb down the way that you think, the way that you are processing things, the way that you're creating solutions? Because we're really good, especially as women, we are really good at planning, at preparing, at coming up with ideas, right? We got ideas out the wazoo in our head. We got so many plans we want to get to, right? In our head, we got so much cool stuff we want to get to. And we're really good at creating solutions. But for some reason, we are not so good at implementing them, right? We have all these plans and the ideas, but they never hit the ground. And why is that? It's because we convince ourselves that things are more complicated, things are going to take longer, they're going to take time, and the reason we do that is because it justifies why we don't have to get started right away. If it's complicated, if it's going to take time, well then of course I'm not going to get started. It's going to take time, right? And then we convince ourselves as to why we haven't done things, why we haven't started a weight loss program, why we haven't started the renovations that we planned a year ago. All these different things. Why we haven't started saving to go traveling, right? Because we convinced ourselves that it's more complicated than it is. But most of the time, 99% of the time, ladies, this thing that you're planning for, it can be done in half the time and in half the steps. But because usually to get to A to B is usually a straight line. But we like to take this huge roller coaster ride. We zigzag, we sometimes go back and then we go back. And it's counterproductive. But we do it because we are tricking ourselves into believing it's complicated. So it justifies us not taking action. And so we end up catching no golf balls. And that's why if you take a look to where you were 5 years ago in your life, 1 year ago, 3 years ago, how different is it from where you are right now? Probably not as different as it should be. If you think about all the efforts that you put into your health, all the efforts you put into your weight loss, into your toning, into any area of your life, the effort should equal the results, right? Effort in should equal effort out. But for some reason, the results are not there. The results that you have right now are not equivalent to the amount of time and energy and money you've invested into them. So there's a disconnect. efforts should equal results. Your results should be way up here because I know you've tried. I know you've tried so many times, but for some reason, we always fall back. And then so do our results because somewhere along the road, somewhere along the journey, somewhere along the ideas and the planning of our next phases of what happens next in our journey or what do I do next in my life, we try to catch too many golf balls at once. And we fall behind and we say, screw it. Because when things get too complicated, we tend not to want to think about them. We tend to not want to start them, right? I don't know if anybody else has like a big chore day. Does anybody have like one chore day a week that they do, right? And you like dread it because everything has to get done that day. And does everything get done that day? No, just the really important things at the top of the list. But then the same things always get pushed to the bottom. And why? Exact same reason. It's not simple. It's not simple. It's about one golf ball at a time. Keep it simple, stupid. It doesn't matter how good your intentions are. It doesn't matter if you're desperate to reach your goals. If you're ready, if you're ready to put in all the work, it doesn't matter if you don't put in the work. And you put in the work by taking it one step at a time. And that's how we try to build all of our Fit Queen programs. Because if I said to you, okay, I need you to go buy a gym membership and work out 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, and only eat chicken and broccoli and rice every day for a year. You'd be like, okay, I'll see you later. Next. Like, that sounds so unpleasant, right? And then I said, oh, you need to listen to 5 hours of motivational talks every day as well. Sound good? Okay, go. Too many golf balls. Too many golf balls. Like, first of all, you're going to have no life. Second of all, even if I tricked you into starting that, you wouldn't even last a week. Even if I convinced you that you could do it and you thought you could catch all the golf balls, you get started and you drop them. Period. So really start to audit how you are planning. Really start to audit yourself so you act more than you think. Because it's not about perfect inaction. You could have the perfect plan, but nothing happens if it's never tried. So imperfect action over perfect inaction. That's what we want. Imperfect action over perfect inaction. Because if it's perfect but never gets done, nothing's going to get there anyway. And that is the point of all of this. Okay, so what are you doing in your life? What is in your crazy mind? What's going on up there that the wheels are turning that you're convincing yourself you need to plan more? You need to think of more ideas, more solutions. What are you planning right now? You got some crazy scheme up there, but is it as complicated as you think? What can you do tomorrow or even today, tonight, to get the ball rolling? What can you do? So now I want to ask you ladies, what is something in your life that you are overcomplicating? What is something in your life that you are overcomplicating? Is it your weight loss journey? Is it, a relationship? Are you having the same fight with someone all the time? What are you overcomplicating? So we got school. Exactly. We got this assignment due, we got to talk to this professor, we got this group project, right? And it's like trying to catch all the golf balls. Just clear it out. Pick one and go. Instead of trying to tackle a little bit of them at a time and getting zero done. You just have to act. So what are you in your life overcomplicating? All right, think of it. Put it in the comments. Let me see so we can talk through it. I want to apply this. So what are you overcomplicating? Or what have you had on your mind for a long time, but you've never actually acted on it? So what's going on in your life where you have all these plans and these schemes and you're excited, but you've never actually put it into action? Meal plans, exactly. Business moves, exactly. We are overcomplicating it. You just have to act. It's only one golf ball. It's not 4, it's not 10. You're not catching all the golf balls. It's just one. Food, exactly. Home reno, exactly. Home renos all the time for this one, right? We all have this dream house in our mind, and then we keep planning, and we keep adding, and we keep changing. And by the time we actually start our renos, what we planned is out of season. isn't in style anymore, right? But if we just took action that first time we had an idea and got it done, by the time you actually finish the first reno, if you already finished it, you'd be ready for a new reno and you could update the style and you'd be happy with where you are all the time. And it's just crazy how we are in the trap of overcomplicating things. KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Everything you do, every decision and project you have at work, every decision and workout you do in regards to your weight loss, keep it simple. Why are you overcomplicating it? Why are you overcomplicating it? If you have to get a workout in, why are you freaking out? Why are you like, oh my God, I don't have the time. It's not going to work. I'm never going to get it done. I'll just start fresh next week. Why don't you just take 5 minutes and do as many push-ups as possible? Just do something to prove to yourself that you can do it and to get the ball moving and just catch that one golf ball. That is the goal here. Because again, it's just one brick at a time. We're not building a wall overnight. It is one brick at a time. If you want to win the game, you got to start with something small. And really, if you want to win the game, ladies, you just have to start. So what are you preventing yourself from starting? What are you preventing yourself from starting, ladies? A lot of things. So what are your dreams? What are your dreams? You want to travel the world? You want to retire? You want to pay off your debt? Like, what are your dreams? Because they are achievable. And then just break it down and say, hey, what can I do today? Instead of, keeping them as dreams, put them into a plan. Bring them back down to reality. Pick one thing and go. If you just keep acting, if you just keep taking steps, you will get there. You will get there. But you have to stop believing you'll magically wake up there. You're not going to magically be able to travel the world one day. You're not going to magically wake up in your dream house or your dream body. They're big goals. They're big goals, and they can seem overwhelming, and it's okay to feel overwhelmed. And it's okay to think that it's complicated because it's new and it's uncharted territory, and that's okay. But the only way you're going to accomplish it and the only way you're going to tackle it is if you justify and you figure out a way to make it simple in your mind. That's the only way. So everything that comes your way in life, you need to figure out a way to make it simple because it's less overwhelming, it's less daunting, and then you can take a little baby step. You can dip your toe in the pool. Because how long does it take you to jump into a pool, right? We all go to the pool or we go to the beach and we're like, I'm just going to jump in. I'm just going to run right in, right? And maybe you end up jumping in, but how long does it take you the courage to jump in? Or if you've ever been jumping off of cliffs or jumping off rocks into water, like you go to lakes or anything like that, you're going to do it. You're going to jump in, but how long does it take you to jump in? It takes a while to build up your courage because it seems so overwhelming. But if you start at the lower rock and do it, if you just dip a toe in and work your way in, you get to where you want to be faster than waiting for the courage, waiting for the motivation, waiting for the perfect plan. Because usually those things don't even exist. You're kind of waiting for a ghost that never appears and you're just wasting time. It's crazy to think. And one of my favorite sayings, and I just heard this recently again, and I love this saying, and it's, if I had more time, I would have written you a shorter letter. How crazy is that? If I had more time, I would have written you a shorter letter. And what that means is words are powerful. Actions are powerful. Keep them potent. Don't water them down by overthinking or overcomplicating. If you had more time, you'd write a shorter letter. That's crazy. You would be able to say what you mean in less. Instead of rambling, instead of wasting time. You ever write an email to somebody and it's super long and it's just like word vomit, and then you go and edit it and you really only needed one paragraph for it? Well, that's your life. That's your life. You think it's going to take an entire essay to get something done when really it's going to take just a little paragraph. But now you need to take this KISS method and you need to apply it and say, okay, what in my life am I overcomplicating the most? And how can I make that simple? That's it. How can I just make it less overwhelming and start acting on it now? And that's it. And that is one of the biggest contributors to my success in my weight loss, in my health, and in the success of my company. Keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. And even in business, for anybody who's in business or high up in the corporate world, the higher up you get, the more simple the procedures get, the less people there are that you talk with. It's crazy, and this goes for anything. The higher level you get in life, the happier you get. Guess how you get happier? Life gets simpler. Life gets way more simple. That's pretty much the key to happiness. Find a way to make everything simple. So, ladies, what is your takeaway from this call? Let's see it in the comments. And if you resonated with anything, let me know. And if you think there's an area in your life that you really need to dumb down, or if there's a plan that you've been hatching for months and years, and it's time to act, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I need to stop overthinking and putting obstacles in my way. That is right. You are putting obstacles in your way. You are. We are all self-made. Think about that. We are all self-made. You are where you are because of you. Regardless of what's happened to you, you're now here. And if you take full responsibility, you have all the power back. We are all self-made. And it really does. A lot of you are saying overthinking. Yeah, as simple as that. But get even deeper. Like, try to recognize your overthinking patterns. Like, what are you overthinking the most? Do you overthink? I know for a lot of women in relationships, you overthink about your partner. Like, you overthink, is he mad at me? Did I upset him? What did I do? Or he pissed me off. He should know what he did, right? And we live in this weird gray zone of feelings and expectations, and you should know, and why can't you read my mind? But like, literally, dumb it down. Keep it simple. He pissed you off. They pissed you off. You tell them immediately. You piss them off. They should tell you immediately. It's that simple. It becomes not simple when there's no communication. So what are you afraid of? What are you freaking afraid of? It's holding you back. What are you afraid of? And that thing you're thinking of that you were afraid of, is it actually that bad? What if it happens? Then what? And then what if that next bad thing happens? Then what? So really take that KISS method seriously. If you fail in your career, if you fail in your weight loss, if you fail in a relationship, then what? Then what? Failure is only a failure when you let it win. But if you use the word lesson instead of failure, then you're going to grow forever. The only way you reach goals is if you fail. The only difference between a beginner and a master is the master has failed again and again and again. And what has that failure taught the master? Make things more simple. Every time you fail, things get more simple. You learn how to make things more simple. And anybody on this call right now who has been in Fit Queen for a while, you've had some failures. Either you fell off the meal plan, you missed your workout, you've had some failures. You've had some lessons. But what did you learn from them? You learned that it's way more simple than you made it out to be in the first place, because overcomplicating it in the first place is what led you to that failure. It was too overwhelming to keep going up. It was too overwhelming to fit those things in, right? And now that it's happened, you realize, oh, that was just me freaking out. And now the next time you face the same failure, it doesn't affect you as much. You have a higher tolerance. You got calluses on your brain. in your mind. And that's cool. And that's the power of keeping it simple. Not much can faze you, not much can shake you, because it comes down to the bare basics. And if you just go back to the basics every time, you're covered. So, ladies, that is my little KISS method today. Okay, I really want you guys to use this going forward. If you ever find yourself in this anxious state, does anybody consider themselves like anxious? They get these feelings of like butterflies, anxiety sometimes. You don't know, maybe sometimes you know where it's coming from, that stress. Sometimes you don't even know where it's coming from. It's just bring it back to the basics. There's something that's making you uneasy. Why is it making you uneasy? Because you don't understand the solution. Why? Because you're thinking the solution is more complex than it actually is. And if you can rationalize to yourself and talk yourself through, hey, the solution is never as complicated as I think. What's one simple thing I can do? You're covered. So that's the KISS method. Use it going forward. Even say it to yourself all the time. Just keep it simple, stupid. I'm finding myself saying that too. Recently, I am feeling a little bit more anxious than usual. I got a lot on my plate. And I hear myself saying to myself, I'm like, just keep it simple, stupid. Like I'm just talking to myself. I'm calling myself stupid. Just keep it simple, stupid. Come on, you know what to do. And that's why we're here. We're here to tell you this stuff, teach you this stuff, and then remind you to keep doing it. Because you're going to hear this, you're going to like it, you're going to implement it, and then you're going to forget about it a week from now. And then guess what? I'm going to tell you, keep it simple, stupid, and you're going to remember. And then you're going to get better at it and better at it. And that's the game we're playing. That's the game we're playing, which is really funny. But that's the way that it is.